Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with a very special video for Pink and Main. This is their Crafty Christmas box for 2019, and it is called Be Merry. Now, you want to make sure that you get yours while they can. This is not part of the subscription, okay, of their Crafty Courtyard. This is separate, so once these are gone, these are gone. So you can see you get the little tiny card, and it's called Crafty Christmas 2019, Be Merry. You get a bigger button, because I love these buttons. I actually have them going along my wall here. It's kind of really cute. And then you have your card stock. So you have Sunny Sky, 2 sheets of white, The Park, Fire Engine, Riverwalk, Salon, and then you also have a green and a red glitter. You get 6 tags in this kit, and we're going to embellish them just a little bit more. You get a full roll of ribbon that was winning and was not allowing me to open it. Finally, we got it. Yeah. You get some glitter buttons in blue, green, and red. Some great wooden die-cut pieces. Some starred gems. Some pink sparkle gems, lots of bling going on here. Some adorable silk poinsettias, a great sequin pack, both sequins and confetti and those holly leaves. Get your 4 envelopes. And then you get this embossing folder of all of these presents by Desiree, which is absolutely cool. Of course, our 6x6 paper pad called Be Merry. Now, what's great is there are some traditional colors in this pack, along with what I'll refer to as non-traditional. You know, the light blues, the pinks, the magentas, although those are becoming more traditional. I am a fan of the lime green and red and white for a Christmas theme, but I do also like the light blue and those other colors as well. This is your stamp set. So many choices here. The beautiful trees, the 2 types of vehicles there, the wreath that's already set up, and the sentiments are just also perfect as well. So let's dig right in, and we're going to dig right into those tags. So what I did was I went through the packet of cardstock and just pulled out those that I thought were cool. Just caught my eye. I'm going to use my liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to embellish the tags. Now, you can keep the tags the way they are right now. They are very much ready to go for you to use with any of your projects. I do apologize for the background noise. I think I have found out what the background noise is that everybody's talking about, and it's actually my computer, and it's running. So I guess the cooling fan comes on. So I am sorry about that if you are hearing that. I can't help it. So I'm just taking some of the cardstocks. I'm adhering them, again, using my liquid adhesive, either straight on an angle. I'm cutting around, just doing different types of formations, because I want the base of the tags to be not only the tags themselves, of course, but also some of the cardstock. So I'm just sitting here playing around with the different designs. So we're just working on the last few. Again, I don't cut those pieces out. I just adhere them right onto my 6x6 paper, and then I cut around them. Now we're just going to look at all the different ways that we can embellish them. I really did, I loved the silk poinsettias. There was a lot of choices there, and I thought simply just adding that one little poinsettia to that tag, it's perfect. Now I'm just going to trim around all of my tags, which will keep that the design there. So as I said, you can see that I either went straight on or I put some on an angle. just to add some more colors to them. Now, what's great with this kit is all of the embellishments that you get with it, whether it's the gems, the buttons, the other jewels, the sequins, you get so much. So these can really be embellished a lot and have fun. So I had to pull out a couple of those holly leaves and some of the red sequins so that I can have berries with my holly leaves. So just digging those out. There's a lot of things that were fighting with me. Yeah. Oh, but I won. So I'm going to use my liquid adhesive and the combination of my liquid adhesive and the glue dots. So I'm specifically putting the glue dots onto the holly leaves just a little bit offset so that I can come in. I'm going to use my wax pencil to pick up my red sequins and just place them down. I'm also going to add more. Usually, you know, again, odd numbers is usually what I do with certain things. So I'm just going to fill that up with a lot of the sequins just to cover up those glue dots so it doesn't stick to anything else. So two so far are embellished. Now we're going to dig into the buttons because I love buttons. Buttons are awesome. So I'm just playing around. They're going to go on to a couple. So I have the one with the snowflake paper. So of course one of the larger of the blue glitter buttons is going to go on, and I'll accent with a green button. I am using my glue dots to adhere the buttons. And you can see something very simple. Again, we don't have to do anything too fancy. Again, we don't have to do so many layers. In all cases, the simplicity of just adding those buttons to it and adding some papers just does a lot when it comes to your tags. On the other side, you'll be able to write your to and from, or you can cut another piece of cardstock that will go with them if you want to have somebody use these again. A lot of times what I do is for my tags, that I make for my gifts, I have 2 tags with them. They're like attached at the top. I think if you've seen my previous videos, I make like a hinge at the top of my tags. Now, when my sister gets those, she tears off the back that I wrote on and she reuses the tag that sits on top. Yes, my sister's amazing that way. But that's what she does, because then she's able to reuse the tag. And use it on another present. I do it for all the tags that I make sometimes. So these, yes, I'll add another piece that'll go to them when I use them, and then people would be able to use them themselves. So it's like a gift with a gift. Yay. So as I was gabbing there, we are adding our twine. So this is baker's twine. This is a white with a silver thread. I got this at my local craft shop. And I'm just tying that on to the top of my tags and then getting those ready. I just cut a simple length. Now this does, what I do find though with this baker's twine, you can see I'm just trimming it. It's because it really frays a lot. And me, I'm horrible tying knots, bows, and everything else. So it's very difficult sometimes for me to get this to where I want it. But yeah, this does fray very quickly. You can see how it frayed? And then I'm just trimming that there. Okay, so let's get some room. So these are our tags, very simple, using the items that are in the kit, and they're ready for any gift. So for our next card, I'm going to cut some strips here. These are 1/4 inch strips. I'm going to get carried away and cut a lot, probably more than what I need, but I'm not sure. I think I ended up using all of them though, so it was good that I did this. So what we're going to do is, I was very intrigued by the ribbon and what that looked like and the sparkle, because it has glitter in it as well. I'm just going to use the grid on my mat, and I know I get a lot of questions on what this mat is. This mat is actually from Arteza. They had sent that to me, and I'm really liking the size of it, and I'm loving the color. It's a deep charcoal gray, and sometimes that's tough to find. Okay, so I answered that question. So now I'm just using my double-sided tape, and I'm putting that on the back of my green glitter strips. And now I'm placing my red. I'm going to call those my red glitter ribbon. And I'm going to grab, I have a wider, so the double-sided tape that I used before is 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to use my 1/2 inch tape as well. Now I have that card set on an angle, and I've used washi tape to tape it down because I can use those lines that go across. And that's what I use my mat for mainly, the large lines, so that I can gauge if I'm center. The only thing that I find with this mat, while I like the color, and again, mainly for filming, the numbers are off along it. Like, you don't have a true 1/4 inch mark. So just an FYI on that. And I let them know that. Just gave them a heads up. Said, hey, look at your numbers. Kind of lines going off. But there is a true solid number and a true 1/2 inch mark. So just keep that in mind. I think it's just the 1/4 marks are off. I think it's the same ticks in there, but okay, enough of that. Sorry, that was a lot. So you can see I have the red down. Now I'm coming in with the green stripes, and pretty much what I'm doing here is creating our own pattern paper that's going to have some texture to it because of the differences in the cardstock. And I'm just creating these lines. I just saw this really cool, like a candy cane strip, going through using these two, whether it was the ribbon or the green glitter paper. So yeah, you can see I only did so many, and I'm glad I cut all those. Yeah, see, sometimes you think you're cutting too much. Nope, you always find a way to use it, right? Right, okay. So, once I get the double-sided tape on there, I'm going to continue and put that through on each side of the red ribbon that I have there. Except that one side, because I got that just a little bit too close. So we're going to pry this off of the cutting mat. Yeah, it's strong. Double-sided tape is really strong, which is really awesome. It's one of the things that I love about these shears, between my Tim Holtz long shears, and these are actually by Fun Stamper's Journey through Spellbinders. These are their Grand Pro. They have that Teflon surface, and it really doesn't stick. It takes a lot for the gum on the double-sided tapes to stick. Just know those scissors are extremely sharp. Extremely. So just FYI. So I used my brayer on my tool-in-one just to really put some pressure down onto this piece of cardstock to make sure that everything is adhered to, because by pulling it up, I think, something may have become dislodged. So now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to use my Desiree K Obsidian ink, and I was having a problem stamping, I think because I push down really hard. I don't know the art of gently stamping, so I do put a lot of pressure sometimes. So finally I got that one to go right. I'm just going to cut this up, and I'm going to use my trimmer just to get it straight. And then I will pull a piece of the Sunny Sky cardstock from the kit to use as the background for that sentiment. I thought the light blue on top of that red and green really kind of made it pop off that page. So the blue is cut 2 by 2, and then that sentiment is cut 1 1/4 by 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then I'm going to use my double-sided foam squares to prop that up. And just set that in the center, but down just a little bit. And then I will set this on my standard A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this one will be a top folding card. All of my card bases will be the standard. So for this one, I fell in love with the sentiment. And I know when I make this comment, I think I kind of throw everyone off. But sometimes, depending upon what the sentiment says and how it says it, it kind of helps me to go where the card's going to go. Now, again, I understand. Happy birthday, yes, you're making a birthday card. Merry Christmas, yes, you're making a Christmas card. But like in this case, this sentiment says, all hearts come home for Christmas. So what that made me think of are hearts. Made me think of this trail of hearts that come down as if in a path. So you're getting all hearts come home. So the path coming home to Christmas. I overthink it. Very much so. Yes. But that's what I mean when it comes to sometimes the sentiments actually guide how my card is going to look. So there's like a message. I don't know. I'm strange. Okay. So moving on. So I have these hearts. Pulled those from my stash. So I have a big red glitter one, and then I pulled one of those bright pattern papers, cut that down a little smaller, and then I cut down my sentiment one with a heart as well. I added a couple of the hollies and a few of the berries just to the corner, just to give it more a little bit, because not that the red heart had enough glitter, but we've got to add a lot of sparkle and shine. And that's something else that I do enjoy with this kit. While you can either have a lot or you can add a little shimmer to each of your cards. I fell in love with this very simple image from the stamp set, and it's the mistletoe. And of course I'm going to add the sentiment, meet me under the mistletoe. And of course it had to be under mistletoes. I do. I overthink the sentiments. I think sometimes if you just give me a stamp set full of sentiments, I would have a ball with it. Just to come up with the different things, and yeah. Okay. Anyway. So to color this image, I pulled out my artist markers by Altenew. And again, this is a really small area. So for the red, I have 2 colors. I just dotted in the light and then just put literally a dot of the dark. And then for the greenery, I put down my light color, went in with the dark, and then went over with my medium shade. Do those leaves need 3 shades? No. Go with 2. It would work just fine. Trust me. But I don't know, I was daring there. So I continue to work with my alcohol markers. My favorite medium are colored pencils, but I want to keep practicing when it comes to my alcohol markers. So I work on very small projects. I'm going to trim this panel down to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I'm going to choose one of the pattern papers, and I wanted something bright. While I have the traditional colors on the front of this, I just really liked this pattern paper, because it did have the traditional colors, but it also had that light blue, and I thought this sitting right on top of that would really make that image stand out. Now I could have also cut down the image square a little bit as well, but I didn't want the pattern paper to take over. So just in case somebody asks, how come you kept that white so big, I really wanted the mistletoe to stand out in front of this. So I'm going to place this down to my standard A2 size card base, and then I've propped up the image that we've colored using my double-sided foam tape and set that there. I'm going to add a few of the star gems. and just a few so that they accent along the card. So for our last card, I pulled out, I cut down a piece of the red cardstock from the kit, and then I ran it through my Spellbinders Platinum 6 machine with the embossing folder. I grabbed one of my makeup brushes and my Desiree K white pigment ink. So I'm just very lightly going over the image so that the embossed area, the raised area, is getting picked up by the pigment ink. Then I'm going to go around the sides just to soften that up as well. I thought the makeup brush was perfect for this. Now, this card, you're going to see me keep on going back and forth because you think you're done and I keep on adding. So I'm putting this down onto my standard A2 size card base and went extremely crooked. So the first thing, I'm going to try to use my scissors to trim it. No, I'm just going to pull in my paper trimmer because it's a lot stronger, and I was getting really crooked. So by doing this, I can just slice right down it, and yeah, had to use some force there. So you think you're done. So then I decided, once it was put onto the card, to come in with my Stardust gel pen, just adding small accents to the bows. I love the Stardust pen because you can get this direct line of wonderful glitter going across your or onto your cardstock and the image that you're looking at. So it's perfect for wings, like for butterflies and fairies, and just to give that accent after you get your color down. So I thought this added a lot. Then I'm like, okay, we need to accent the packages just a little bit more. So I'm coming in with my white Faber-Castell pencil, and I'm literally I'm adding the shading. So where it would be darkest, where that shaded effect would be, that's where I'm putting the white pen on each of the presents. A lot of them are divided into fours, you know, whether it's the lid or the base or the package itself. So now I'm just coming in to give that more accents. In some cases, you know, I usually do go to the left for the shade. You can see for most of them, although there's some of the packages, for some reason I went to the right. So again, I do not keep an eye where my light source is, obviously. It's kind of going all over the place. So here I'm coming back in with the Stardust pen again, just to add, just to focus on the dots to make them come out as well. So then now I want to stamp my sentiment. Now I was originally going to use white cardstock for my sentiment. Then I changed my mind. I was really liking this card, and I just kept on, again, had one vision in my mind going to the left, and this card just kept on turning to the right. It was like forcing me. So I grabbed one of the Park lime green cardstock. I'm going to prep that with my anti-static pouch, and I'm going to use my white pigment ink and stamp the sentiment Be Merry. I'm going to use my white embossing powder by Brutus Monroe, the Alabaster, to heat emboss that. I do like to use, just like we use the VersaFine black a lot of times, you know, we can use black embossing powder on that, or we can use the clear. I tend to do the same thing with the white. That's why I use white pigment ink if I'm going to have a sentiment embossed in white. I don't know, to me it makes it a lot solider instead of if there's splotchies. I don't know. I could be crazy, which I probably am. I'm going to use my scissors to trim that down and to create a square. I'm going to prop that up using my double-sided foam squares. And then I thought, okay, there was still more that I wanted to add. So I dug into, grabbed the the piece of my green glitter cardstock, and I just, again, now you could draw on the other side to cut them out. I just made two like teardrops, and I'm going to put those in the back. So it's like a bow that's coming off of the package. Thought I was done, that's why I'm showing it. No. So now I'm going to dig into the buttons. We're going to add a button. I'm going to put a small piece of double-sided foam square on the other side of that because it's going to come off of the package. So I'm going to adhere that. And then I will finally come in with red sequins to accent on top of the button. And then I'm also going to add 2 red sequins to the bow. So, you know, again, it could look like that, you know, it's a bow or a cute little bunny with red eyes. I don't know. But I was just having way too much fun with all of this. And that is our last card. Yes, it's fine. I did not add anything else to that. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Now, again, this is not part of the Pink and Main Crafty Courtyard subscription. This is a standalone Christmas holiday kit that they are put together. And again, it is called Crafty Christmas for 2019. And the theme is Be Merry. So again, this is not part of the Crafty Courtyard subscription. This is a one-time purchase. All right, so once they are gone, they are gone. And as always, there is only a limited number that is available. Okay, so keep that in mind. But I do hope you enjoyed the projects that we make today. Tags and cards. We are coming close to that season. There is so much that you can do with this kit. All of the products that I used, of course, to the link to this kit and a link to the Pink and Main site will be down below in the video description. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I want to thank you so much for stopping by, taking the time to watch the video. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Love for you to be here. Ring the bell so that you don't miss the next video that's launched, and hit that thumbs up if you want. For those of you that are already subscribers, I say thank you to each and every one of you and every day. I hope everyone's having a great day, but remember what's most important, everyone. Always be creative.